Something fascinating is happening in the world of finance right now, and I want to share some critical insights that could affect your investment decisions in the coming months. We're witnessing historical shifts in how money moves around the globe, and today we'll break down exactly what this means for your portfolio. Let's start with a fundamental truth that's becoming increasingly apparent in our financial markets. Traditional currencies are experiencing unprecedented pressures, and this is creating a remarkable ripple effect across all asset classes. Think about it. When was the last time you checked the purchasing power of your savings? The numbers might surprise you. Let's dive into our first major topic, the evolving nature of global currencies. What we're seeing today is quite remarkable. Central banks worldwide are facing challenges they've never encountered before, leading to some fascinating developments in how we value our money. Look at what's happening to paper currencies across the globe. It's like watching a slow-motion transformation of our entire monetary system. Remember when your grandparents told you about how much a dollar could buy in their day? Well, there's a reason for those stories, and it's more relevant now than ever. The real story here is in what people are doing to protect their wealth. We're witnessing a fascinating shift toward tangible assets. When you look at the historical data, you'll notice something interesting. During periods of monetary uncertainty, certain physical assets have consistently maintained their value. What's particularly intriguing is how this pattern is repeating itself today, but with some modern twists. Let's talk about silver for a moment, because this is where things get really interesting. While many investors are focusing on its value as a precious metal, there's another crucial aspect we need to consider: its role in industry. What's fascinating is how these two factors are creating an unusual dynamic in the market. The industrial application of silver is particularly noteworthy because it tells us something important about the broader economy. When we examine the manufacturing sector's demand for silver, we get a unique window into economic health. However, here's where it gets complicated, and this is something many analysts miss. The current economic climate is presenting some unique challenges for silver demand. Manufacturing slowdowns could impact industrial usage, but there's another factor at play that most people aren't talking about. Let's look at this chart. Now let's shift our focus to an interesting development that's making waves in the precious metals market. There's significant movement happening in Eastern Europe that could reshape how we think about metal trading. What we're seeing is a strategic shift in how certain nations are approaching their reserves. This brings us to a crucial point about global reserve currencies. The international monetary system is undergoing what might be its most significant transformation since the 1970s. When we look at the data, we can see a clear trend in how central banks worldwide are diversifying their holdings. The numbers tell an interesting story. While the established system remains dominant, we're seeing subtle but significant shifts in how international trade is being conducted. This isn't just about economics, it's about adapting to a changing global landscape. Now let's talk about something that affects everyone watching this video: central bank policies. The decisions being made in marble buildings are having real-world impacts on your wallet. We're in a particularly crucial period where monetary policy could have long-lasting effects on the job market. Here's what you need to understand about interest rates and employment. There's a delicate balance at play. When rates rise too quickly, it's like putting the brakes on a speeding train, necessary sometimes, but it needs to be done with precision to avoid derailment. Let's look at these employment numbers. Notice anything interesting? The patterns we're seeing now share some similarities with historical periods of economic transition. But here's what makes the current situation unique. Speaking of economic challenges, let's address the elephant in the room: rising prices. We're seeing some concerning trends in the cost of everyday items, and this is leading to some interesting market behaviors. When uncertainty rises, investors typically look for stability. This is where alternative stores of value come into play. Throughout history, certain assets have served as reliable anchors during turbulent times. What's fascinating is how this historical pattern is playing out in our modern financial system. The data here is compelling. When we look at how these assets have performed during similar periods of economic uncertainty, a pattern emerges. But remember, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. It's about understanding the underlying principles. Now let's examine how government fiscal decisions are influencing market dynamics. The numbers we're seeing in terms of spending and debt are unprecedented in peacetime. This creates a unique set of circumstances that investors need to understand. What's particularly interesting is how these fiscal policies interact with market forces. When we look at historical examples of similar spending patterns, we can identify potential outcomes that might surprise you. Notice the trajectory of these spending curves. What they tell us about future market conditions is both fascinating and potentially concerning. The key question is, how sustainable is this approach? As we wrap up today's analysis, let's put all these pieces together. We're living through a period of significant economic transformation. The decisions being made today by central banks, governments, and market participants will likely have lasting impacts on how we think about wealth and value. Here's what you can do with this information. 1. Stay informed about these trends. 2. Consider how these changes might affect your long-term financial planning. 3. Remember that diversification remains a crucial strategy in uncertain times. If you found this analysis helpful, make sure to hit that like button and share this video with others who might benefit from understanding these market dynamics. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective on these developments. For those interested in diving deeper into these topics, I've included some valuable resources in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth market analysis and economic insights. Until next time, this is David Chen reminding you to stay curious and stay informed about your financial future. Thanks for watching Market Maven Insights. Remember to click the notification bell to stay updated with our latest analysis. See you in the next video.